You were just curious.
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay on cocaine documentary.
Here it is. It's only 3 minutes long.
This is how cocaine is
Gordon
made.
Ramsay goes behind the scenes of the Colombian cartel to discover how cocaine is produced deep in the jungle.
Why is it
the name of the show or the name of the segment or something is called Gordon Ramsay on cocaine?
Yeah. This is weird.
Don't get busted because we are going even deeper. Which involves many chemicals. First, we add cement to the chopped up coca leaves.
They're pouring cement on the coca leaves. Okay, I can't. I'm getting distracted.
Can we use that sample to start the show? Just Gordon Ramsay talking about the cocaine making process. It's cool that Gordon Ramsay looks like the most British guy or the most American lesbian ever, depending on what angle you get of his face.
All right.
Gordon Ramsay.
I don't really want to talk about the
59.
Broncos game, honestly.
That's fine. We don't have to.
I mean, we could touch on it at the very beginning, and I'll just say there's not much to say about it. I mean, they had a backup quarterback and they lost. It sucks. The difference in the game was Drake May made a couple rushing plays, and that was kind of it. That's kind of
apparently he called his own number too.
Yeah, on the last play, the deciding first down of the game, he called. They had run 3 straight power runs before that, and then he just called another one. And apparently, I've heard Josh McDaniels said in his helmet, said in the play call, just keep it, do another power run and keep it. But then he didn't. Whatever way he communicated the play to the huddle, they didn't know he was going to be taking it. So all the linemen were looking around, and then he was over there and got the first down. The game was over.
That's pretty cool, I guess. The Patriots are so lucky it fucking snowed.
The snow, Jesus, oh my God, the snow pissed me off. I think snow games suck, and I'm not just saying that because we lost. I've said that before. I think they fucking make the game. I don't know. It's I'm not saying we should get rid of them, or I'm not saying every stadium should be a dome. I just don't think snow games are all that much better than normal games.
People
they look cool, and it's fun to sprinkle.
Also want domes, so don't say that.
No. I certainly don't think there should still be. There's always going to be outside stadiums, and snow games are cool in a sense, but. There's a reason I don't play the fucking Super Bowl in the outside stadiums. Because when the game really fucking matters, it should be an even playing field and everything. But I'm not gonna go so far as to say the conference championship game should be in third, whatever you call it, neutral sites. That doesn't seem right either. I don't think that's a solution, but I just think it sucks. I just think snow games are overrated and they usually suck and make the game worse. They look cool on TV though.
My team benefited from a snow game against the Rams last year, so I can't say shit. Because it just became run Saquon, and then we have the now famous slap in your helmet. We're going to the Super Bowl run.
The Broncos had a famous snow game against the Patriots during the Manning years, where they won in overtime on a C.J. Anderson 40-yard run. That was cool. This wasn't fucking cool.
Do you like how we'll save this for when we're on the air. Yeah. I don't really want to talk about that either, because I really I had spent the entire week psyching myself up, getting fully on the Broncos Express, and what I did is I allowed myself, while I had an excuse to completely bow out of caring for football for the rest of the year. Instead, I hurt myself again. Yeah. I hurt myself again. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it either. It was bad. I was really sad. I was sad for you.
I was just bummed. That whole night, the whole rest of the evening, I was still I watched so I went to the protest, and we went to a restaurant afterwards. That was downtown still, so we watched the end of the first half and then the whole second half. And it was over, and we're going home, and I just felt just felt like robbed. It just felt like cheated. Like that felt like that. I'm like, no, that wasn't the real AFC Championship. They're gonna play the real one with Bo Nix tomorrow, right? That was just the pretend one. It just feels shitty and like unfair. Not unfair like the Patriots cheated, but just like unfair in like a destiny sense. Like why did Bo Nix have to get injured? That's not fair. That's the part that's not fair. Like,
if it hadn't have snowed and then they would have, if you could have won that game on Jared Stidham's arm, like you would have fucked the Patriots up because that's the way the game was going.
yeah.
Especially those first two Broncos drives were great.
Yeah, I feel like Sean Payton didn't really like Mike Vrabel did a better job of adjusting to the snow. Like they just
Yes, that is true.
it was like, all right, it's gonna turn into like a mushy sludge fest. Like okay, we can rock with that. And the Broncos kept trying to do their normal game plan, which I felt like isn't what the situation called for. And I get why you don't want to be like with your backup quarterback's first start in whatever 2 years or whatever. Like you don't want to just and it's the chance to conference championship. I understand why you don't want to be like, all right, fuck it, let's just let's make it up as we go. Like, but maybe they should have. I don't know. Sucks.
In the Patriots' defense, like it became power run and run with your quarterback, which is like their two best things.
Yeah. The two things.
And now they're going to go have to play the Seahawks, and they're going to get fucked in the ass.
Yeah, and you know what? That's not really going to bring me a whole lot of satisfaction to see the Patriots lose the Super Bowl because it's like, I don't know, it's not gonna change anything. It'll be kind of cool, it'll be kind of funny, I guess. But what if they win?
I don't know if I'm gonna.
What if the Patriots win?
Then we have to hear about like, okay, so we should start rolling because I actually have a take about this.
No, yeah, let's this could be the show now. Force takeaways live.
Okay, hello,
Tony Ballgame, Jake's the Snake.
Hey, everybody. We were just talking about Gordon Ramsay helping the cartel produce cocaine. He went and filmed Colombian cartels, and he was like, "You're doing a good job there, mate." But if the Patriots win the Super Bowl, I've been thinking about how annoying it would be, but it would actually be cool because, okay, so Belichik isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that's
we'll get into that.
That's 100% because like he has just made nothing but enemies because like his whole life has been ruthless winning and not making friends. Which is now that he's an old guy looking back on his legacy, he's like realizing he did things the wrong way. That like winning wasn't the only thing that mattered, because nobody gives a shit. They give a shit that he was an asshole and won in unscrupulous ways. And like everyone's kind of like, well, fuck you. Nobody gives a shit anyway. So he's having this weird like crisis, I imagine. If the Patriots then can win the Super Bowl with former player Mike Vrabel as head coach and this new hotshot young quarterback, that's further Belichick erasure. The fans are always going to love Tom Brady or whatever. But if Patriots fans can have like a new young large-bodied doofus to root for that isn't Tom Brady, is also kind of pushed, because there's like, I imagine some Pats fans are pissed about the Tampa thing or whatever, but they gave him a statue at the beginning of this year, and like that's all, whatever. Who cares? If this new iteration of this new generation of Pats win, that further kind of pushes Tom out, but that definitely like is what to me 100% more Belichick erasure. Because Pats fans aren't like, oh, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. We love you, Bill. Because he stuck around and he kind of sucked and like kind of dampened his own legacy with like the weird Cam Newton teams or whatever.
The weird draft choices.
Yeah. He kind of fucked himself. Tom got out at the right time and proved that maybe it was more him than it was.
Even Josh McDaniels is getting more love.
Mm-hmm.
Than Belichick. Like, even he suffered and it looked like his legacy was gonna get dragged down with Belichick. So then he had to sort of leave. He went to Vegas for a minute, and now he's back and fucking thriving with the Patriots. right? He's still their OC.
Yeah, he's their OC, and he is like kind of coach Drake May to like maybe MVP season, even though I think they're going to give it to Matt Stafford because America can't get enough of his big teeth. Or his insane
That's a whole
wife.
other discussion too.
The MVP discussion.
But I think it's good. I think it's good if the Patriots win. It's kind of like, like when a country does a lot of weird, bad stuff, and then they, a generation later, they have like a better leader, and they're like, no, actually, like the 30s and the 40s was bad. We're going to outlaw the swastika. We're not going to talk about it. You're actually banned from talking about this in our country, or you go to jail. This is the same. This is Germany, and this is like mid-century Germany to me, is what I'm trying to say. Postmodernist Germany is now in New England. Post-war. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. I'm not good with saying stuff from my brain.
It's okay.
I think it's good. Do I want that to happen? Not really. I don't want porno dad and Terry Bradshaw with hair to win the Super Bowl. That would be wrong.
Yeah. The other thing to consider too is that Robert Kraft is already in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, I am.
He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and getting whacked off after a massage Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, the paying a trafficking victim to jerk you off to completion Hall of Fame,
which is in Tampa, ironically.
That's what they mean by Gasparilla down there.
But I think
not really. That's a pirate festival.
So Bill, I did want to lead with Belichik not getting in the Hall of Fame because it just sort of happened last night, and it's kind of it's a pretty major thing. I have the list of voters up here. Someone on Reddit posted all the voters, and it's mostly looks like pretty much like each NFL city has a dedicated like beat writer or blogger or radio guy as a representative of their franchise voting in.
Is it Ron Wolfley from Phoenix or Glendale? Yeah, no, for Arizona.
For Arizona, it's Kent Summers, retired Arizona Republic.
Kent Summers. I gotta look this guy up. I've never heard of him.
Kent Summers. He's a retired writer. There's not
a
lot
handsome.
of. Oh yeah, is he younger looking? I don't really know who he is.
He kind of looks like Chris Maloney and Ty Burrell combined.
Okay, yeah. He looks very Arizona. He looks like an active old guy.
Yeah, an active old guy.
Cool.
No lips. Absolutely zero lips. Like
not
he
very
runs
much
a lot.
Eyebrows either.
Yeah, and like maybe he has a little bit of poo on his hand.
And he looks like he's like not only is he really active, but he's also like a handy around the house. Like he does like woodworking, and he's like your girlfriend's dad or uncle that when you were like a first time home buyer and you don't know what you're doing. It's like the wife is like, let me call Kent. Let me call my uncle. He'll come over and help you. And he's like really help. He knows a little bit about like everything, like plumbing, drywall, all of it. He knows like he can help you a little bit. Anyway,
he's in his 60s and he has like a younger girlfriend, but she's like 37. So it's
but it's not weird. It's not weird, even though he's so much older than her. But like he's so active and like she is also like she works in the same like industry as him, and it doesn't. When you hang out with them, it's like you tell your friends about it, and then it's like no, but then I went to their house. It's great. It's a great relationship.
Yeah, and you can tell they really love each other. Yeah,
yeah,
and they both have abs.
And they both have hella abs. Really no kids either. Childless marriage, and it's no one questions it. It's because they lead such an active lifestyle, and they're always traveling too. He looks like this guy. He's always like, yeah, I just got back from the Everglades. We were doing some fishing out there. Then we're going ice fishing in Minnesota next week.
Yeah, he's always fishing and really harsh climates.
Okay, yeah. So now we're gonna go through each of the Hall of Fame voters and decide what they look like.
Say what they look like.
What their hobbies might be.
Yeah, it's gonna be the worst stand-up premise.
Who do you think it is for Philly? You know a lot of the Philly writers.
I want to assume it's Ruben. Is it Rube or it's either Rube or Is it McClain? John McClain?
No. John
Who
McClain
is
is
it?
Houston. John McClain's a Houston guy.
Well, there's a McClain in Philly too, and he's like, he
Oh,
sounds
really?
like a little boy. Yeah, it's funny.
John
And like
McClain is the
all the other beat
the
writers,
Houston one is he's the one who's always on the NFL Films videos, and he always like retrospective things. He always has his eyes closed. He's like a larger gentleman, and he covered the team when they were still the Oilers, and then covered the team when when the Texans came to town. He's just a Houston guy. He's retired now, I'm pretty sure. Doesn't say he's retired. Says he's still on Sports Radio 610. I know him. He's a longtime beat writer for Houston football, though.
Okay, so who is it for Philly?
For Philly, it's Paul Domowitch.
Oh, Dom.
Of the 3013.com/phillymag.com.
They on the podcast I listen to, they kind of like they always like reference him with a chuckle. I think he's kind of a character.
Yeah. A lot of these people are skew older. And I guess that makes sense because it's like when you're a Hall of Fame voter, they do the senior. That's like a different category where you can vote on people that played maybe long ago that are getting like a second or sometimes third chance at Hall of Fame, or more than three, I guess. But like theoretically you want people who have been around a long time and are very familiar with football for a long time, who maybe they watched fucking Johnny Unitas play like live. Like you want a lot of experience. So many of these people are a little on the old side, which is understandable.
All the Philly beat writers I listen to are like around our age, and by that I mean like from 30 to like 45, which is like 45 is now within my age range, which sucks. I'm actually going to be 35 the day after the Super Bowl this year.
Nice.
I don't know. It feels fucked up to me. Because I'm still like, I got a shirt at Tilly's the other day. I'm going to be 35. It doesn't seem, Tilly's is like it's like a store at the mall for like teenagers with behavioral problems. For like skaters, but their parents they're like skaters, but they live in like a gated community.
Those guys are always dripped out.
Yeah, I have like three
cool shirts there.
I've been getting a lot of Obey shirts lately.
Obey? Oh, right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's like a midlife crisis.
You know what I've seen is around lately is the Fear of God Essentials. Where did that come from? What is that?
So that's I'm pretty sure that was like a Virgil Abloh's brand. He was a big designer. That shit's cool. That's like a lot of like rappers and athletes would wear that, but now it's a little more mainstream. They have like bigger partnerships, brand partnerships.
More normos.
Yeah, I found like a couple of their shirts on sale and asked my wife for them because I've been getting into like streetwear and like big old shirts. You know how big old shirts are popular right now?
Yeah, like oversized shirts, sometimes with a breast pocket.
Yeah, exactly. I've been getting a lot of big old shirts and listening to a lot of like lifestyle hip hop. So like East Coast hip hop with jazz samples. No, not Matt. Fuck no. I'm like former criminals that like now rap about like fine art and good food, and then sometimes like the crimes they committed. But then there's like a Motown sample with a jazz piano behind it. Like it's kind of like it's like rap for like mid-30s, like for aging white hipsters. I was a specific type of hipster, and now that I'm in my mid-30s, like I'm getting into like the rap for those guys. Like I listen to a lot of Griselda, like West Side Gun and Benny the Butcher, and like Larry June.
I put on West Side Gun's sort of greatest hits on Spotify while at work.
It's good. It's good shit.
It's cool. It's kind of slow, but I like it.
Yeah. It's like kind of lo-fi and slow, and like it's relaxing. But then he's like talking about like shit people and like selling heroin to like pregnant women.
Okay, let's get back to the Hall of Fame thing because I wanted to. I was on the way of saying basically there's one writer for each franchise voting, and then there's all these at-large people who are many of them are retired players. It includes the GOAT Browns beat reporter Mary Kay Cabot. She's an at-large voter, even though she's Cleveland born.
She's petite.
She's the queen.
She's petite.
Of beat writers. Tony Dungy, Dan Fouts.
I like Dan Fouts.
James Lofton, Sal Paolantonio, who's literally like an OG ESPN guy. Pretty sure he's worked.
Oh yeah, Sal Pal, big birds guy too. Big birds guy.
We love a Paisan in the industry. Bill Polian, Lisa Salters, who's a, and I don't really know how I feel about Lisa Salters. Oh no, I'm sorry. I've got Lisa Salters confused with what's her face.
Did you know Sage Steele is like a hardcore Republican?
No, like but I can't say that.
Psychotic MAGA Republican.
I can't say that surprises me. Someone like
it surprised me. It hurt my feelings. I was always very sexually attracted to her when I was single.
So I'm trying to. The whole football world is trying to narrow down who could have possibly, because he needed 30%. He needed less than 11 people to vote no. Basically, it was like one more than the limit. So we need to find out which 11 people don't.
I think it would be easier to find out who voted for him to be in, because everybody fucking hates him. Because he has made a career of being fucking shitty to other coaches, shitty to players, and shitty to reporters. Like, he has mistreated everybody because he has just lived in a very myopic way. He just wanted to win because his dad was abusive to him or something. And so he's always wanted to win, and he fucked a lot of people over, and he cheated. And we kind of just let him get away with that. Goodell let him get away with that. And it was just whatever.
But they did get punishment for it. Brady was suspended for the first 4 games, but they totally made it look like, I remember at the time they made it look like they were victims, and that Tom Brady was overcoming this challenge, which they do a lot of times with stuff like this. And it's very sickening. And they did get punished for it. They did get fines and get draft picks taken away. But many people,
there's the Deflategate. There's
there's the camera one.
Multiple times the camera ones. I remember 10 years after the fact, they were like, oh, hey, also in the 2001 Super Bowl, he filmed their practices, which was illegal. But that was over a decade ago, so we're not going to do anything about it. So he had their entire game plan because he hid cameras at their practice field, which is fucking cheating. And it became a joke. It became a bit because the Patriots, especially Belichik and Tom Brady, controlled the narrative so much to make themselves look like victims. And they were just people just hate it when you're a winner in this country. And I'm getting punished for being the best. And it's no, you're getting punished because you fucking cheated, you creep. You did the Porky's thing and had a little camera in a peephole.
Coach Porky.
That's why people are mad. Yeah, you did football Porkies, and people are fucking pissed off because Kurt Warner should have 2 Super Bowls. He should have beaten you.
And that was a long time ago, but that just proves how deep that hatred was.
He's reaping what he sowed, and that's fine.
I think it's really funny, and I wonder if it's gonna work. When the next voting cycle is will it be he gets in on the second one and everyone's okay, they sent a message and got everyone talking about it, but or will they hold the line and vote no again, all 11 of them? I don't know. I think it's funny. I think it's kind of awesome.
I think it's hilarious. I think yes,
because it shows people are this sullies the legacy of the Hall of Fame itself. But I think this shows.
I don't think so.
What actually this is boils down such to the essence of what sports is that it isn't just black and white binary yes or no. It's a human element that's unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a difference so often. You can game, and in all sports across all types of competitions, even things like cross country or swimming or whatever, anything. It's you can game plan as much as you want, and you can be the most highly trained, most perfectly, conditioned athlete ever. But one day a guy's just on a heater and you lose to him.
a random
Yeah.
weird guy that no one knows. You know, like it's the unknown element, the human element that makes sports so interesting. And it's like, yeah, Bill Belichick's accomplishments, it's a no-brainer. He should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, it's ridiculous. He was the 8 Super Bowls, including the 2 he won with the Giants as the defensive coordinator. Like, on paper, it's like, yeah, this guy's the greatest coach probably ever. But you add the human element into it, and it's like, actually, many people found him personally unpleasant so much to the point that they were like, actually, we don't want him to get this recognition that we know he like deserved, but just out of like spite and hatefulness, we're just gonna be like, nope, fuck you, because I for once, Tony Dungy, I Bill Polian, Dan Fouts have the power over you, Bill Belichick, to keep you for what you want. So I'm gonna, use that power and embarrass you in front of everyone, in front of the whole football world. Which is why I think this whole thing is great and very funny.
I think it rules, dude. And also, like, I think what a lot of people don't realize is that, like, when you win in like unsavory ways, you're not just like getting something that you maybe don't deserve. You're like costing other people opportunities and money,
Right.
that aren't even considered. You are cutting off an entire branch of someone's like of like a possible path they could have taken if they have like they're eliminating future opportunity from somebody's life because you filmed their practice and beat them at the Super Bowl. It completely rewrites the narrative on people's careers and their lives, and it costs them so much money.
And it's like, oh well,
and this is a business.
They got in trouble, they got draft picks taken away, they got fined or whatever. But it's like, well, but they still did it, and the results still happened, and don't count. Like unless the people that were wronged in his cheating can't. They're like, no, we want to like replay it fair and square. But you can't do that. Like, you just can't do that. That's just not how that works. So you just, no matter what the retribution is, no matter what their punishment is, it still doesn't feel right because you were still cheated and you still lost in an fair way.
Yeah, it sucks.
And that stays with people. Clearly, look, the fucking Deflategate was like almost 20 years ago, and they're still mad about it. It's just everything that sports is about. Sports is about hate.
Yeah, and petty little men acting like kids.
And acting out real life grievances in a metaphorical sort of like performative sense. Like that's why I don't like the Savannah Bananas. Since like baseball isn't about doing a little fucking dance and seeing a guy do a flip on stilts. It's about I hate the Cardinals. I hate the Cubs. I hate the Yankees. Like that's what it's about. That's why I don't like that shit.
I hate the Savannah Bananas because it's like it's everything that like Republicans and MAGA people hate, right? Like they hate like any kind of art or performance or like something that they would label as like, feminine, right? Or like something that they would call gay, like a guy, like a male gymnast is not masculine to them, so therefore it's bad and wrong. So that's exactly what the Savannah Bananas are, and Trump voters eat that shit up. So it's just such a contradiction to me.
And you can read all about.
If you dress this up, this thing I think is pussy. If you dress it up as baseball, which to me is a white man's sport, it's okay. That's why I hate it. And I came to that conclusion in my own mind. I don't know if that's like how the real world.
You can read more about this in my new article in the New Republic entitled "The Savannah Bananas and the Rise of American Fascism." But
honestly, there's something to it.
Who knows? Maybe there's some woke people that work for the Savannah Bananas. I don't know, but like,
it doesn't seem like
to
it.
me,
like all those guys are like.
To me, it does kind of parallel fascist art, especially the specifically American shade of fascism, because the thing all the MAGA people get so upset about, especially Trump, is that when they're not like properly respected in like cultural works like movies or TV shows or the news or whatever, like they're like, oh, they're portraying me badly. I'm getting a bad rap, and it's like, you're the fucking president, dude. You're the most powerful position in the world, and you're still mad because they wrote a mean thing about you in some newspaper in Des Moines or something. Like, so they want everything, and that's why they like AI too, because they can just make their own image exactly what they want to see. That makes them clap like little seals and be like, yeah, that's the thing I want to happen. Like, I want to make a Star Wars where Darth Vader wins or whatever. Like, or they're always being like those guys that posted videos that are like, yes, oh, look at this what I made in Claude or whatever. Still think AI sucks, and it's just a 3-minute long video of them like taking selfies with famous people. It's like the dumbest slop you've ever fucking seen. That's what Savannah Bananas is that it's just like it's like a play. It's like a fake thing where the good guys win, everyone has a good time, and everyone's smiling, and there's no badness or sadness, or even the losing team is like cheering and clapping too, and they're like dancing and can and shit. Like it is. There are many parallels to fascist art. Well, that was quite the tangent. Sorry about that.
I don't think there's a non-white guy on the Savannah Bananas either. They're all like muscular. They're all like muscular, kind of long, floppy haired, like older Gen Z guys that wear gold chains. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're all like, they all look like they
There's a black guy right here. There's a black guy right
in
here.
Utah. I don't know. I'm looking at a roster right now, and it's all white guys. Heiner Hughes, Peyton Chattinger, Brock Perio.
Okay, Barack, come on.
Grant Besser, Ashby Vining, and he has his jersey buttoned all the way down so you see his chest muscles. Garrett DeClue, Fisher Polydroff. Get out of here. This shit sucks. That's so terrible. I hope. Never mind, I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Okay, all right. So that's the Belichik thing. I don't know. I have much more to say about that. But do you want to talk about too the
Joe Brady getting elevated to be the coach of the Bills?
Yeah, it's funny to me because like everything that like the owner was saying, just trying to like deflect from
how bad Josh Allen played.
Brandon Beane did. He was like, well, we didn't want this receiver. That was the offensive coaches that wanted it. And all the shit he talked in that presser where he was trying to defend his GM, they kind of like painted it as like Joe Brady's fault and Sean McDermott's fault. And now they're just, they're elevating him. Like he's getting a promotion, which is weird. So I don't know. It's strange. Also, like, he was just really kind of like I don't think he called all of the run plays either. I think he was like, so when he was at LSU, he was just a passing game coordinator. And then he went to Carolina. And it was, I don't think he called the run game. It was more just the passing game. I don't really know what he did in Buffalo this past season, but like, I just don't know if it's going to be the answer. It seems like to me, this reads as we made an emotional decision, and now they're trying to like put a Band-Aid on it by promoting a guy who was already there, even though all the problems the owner and the GM complained about, you could trace them. Like the blame kind of falls onto Joe Brady and the offensive staff. So to me, yeah, it just reads like, hey, we moved too fast. We made an emotional decision, and now we're trying to backtrack and fix that. And also, like, the coaching market was dog shit. We weren't going to get, like, Harbaugh or Daboll or Stefanski. Although, I don't think Stefanski is a very good coach. I think he's a successful coach. I don't think he's a good coach, and there is a difference. I don't know. It just seems very stupid and harebrained to me. And what they really need to do is like improve their roster, their personnel. They need a secondary so bad, and they need some wide receivers so bad. That's not all they need. Their pass rush and like their interior D line could also use some help because that was the worst run defense in the league last year. So I don't know. They need to really change their philosophy when it comes to roster building. They have so much money tied up in their quarterback. They need to spend some money on the skill players because Josh Allen can't fucking do everything for you all the time. So I don't know. It seems like the Patriots are the real deal. I mean, they're in the fucking Super Bowl this year, so it's not just going to be a cupcake conference or cupcake division that you walk through and win every year again. Like, you have some real competition. I mean, the Dolphins and the Jets are always going to suck, but the Pats seem to be back in a big way. So, like, I don't know. It just kind of feels like maybe their window closed, and you're seeing a lot of toxicity come out of that franchise right now. It seems like a very shitty, bad place to be because of the owner and because of the GM and a complete lack of accountability that anyone is willing to accept. Even Sean McDermott, he was the least accountable head coach in the league for years. The first thing he did after this game was complain about the refs, which is like the worst look. And that's probably a big reason why he lost his job.
Not only the refs, but like and I know I went off my spout about this in the last episode, but the fact that his final fucking stand in Buffalo, and he tried to frame it as like, I'm gonna stand up for Buffalo, like I'm gonna stand up for the like people of Buffalo by sitting here and bitching and whining that the fucking video replay should have taken longer. Like, what a lame fucking thing to sit there and act like you're a hero about complaining for. Like, that is just like, it sucks. I mean, it's weird because it's like, I suppose he should have been fired. Like, I guess, 9 years, no Super Bowl appearance, not even getting really all that close, maybe in 1 or 2 years. But everything after that seems hasty and like not what their first choice. Like, why? It already looked bad to elevate Brandon Beane. Like, we already complained about that. And then to like be like, oh, we're bringing Josh Allen along on all these interviews. We're like flying to Florida to interview these people, and like, we're having so many first, second interviews with these coaches, and then you end up just elevating the offensive coordinator who has been with the team a while, and who's, if you're mad about the team, playing poorly, he's been with the Bills since 2022. Joe Brady has. So if you're mad about the past few years of futility, Joe Brady's got to be a part of that. So is fucking Brandon Beane. And you just promoted both of them to the two most powerful positions on the team. It just, I don't know. If they have if they miss the playoffs or get the second wild card spot and lose in the first, if they have like a bad season next year, it's gonna feel like a completely wasted everything. Like you took the wrong turn on the fork in the road of destiny. Like, you blew it. You blew it.
What it feels like is like they got the one position everyone's always trying to get, and they gave up. And they were like, okay, we have a Hall of Fame quarterback. We have a true face of our franchise that can truly do it all. And we're never out of the game with Josh Allen. And they did nothing to really support him. And they got cheap. They got cheap at receiver. They could not figure out a consistent O-line around him. They didn't want to pay their running back in a league that was like shifting to more of a run game. And like, look how good of a year Cook had. And they didn't want to pay that guy. And he was like a top 3 running back in this league. Probably like him and Bijan Robinson were like the 2 most important running backs in the league this year, you could argue.
Oh yeah. Like on a week-to-week basis or like on a game-to-game basis, he could be the best back in the league. Over the course of a season, you could easily make the argument he was.
And they weren't going to pay that guy. They were going to tell that guy to F off. They were kind of like saying shitty things in the press about him because they didn't want to pay him. So I don't know. If I was Josh Allen, I would see the writing on the wall and I would try to get out of there.
Yeah.
It's a toxic franchise. They have spent up a lot of their goodwill. People were like, "Oh, we're rooting for Buffalo," but like they keep losing in ways that were avoidable because they refuse to truly invest in their team and spend money. So like they keep reaping what they sow and then acting petulant and in the press about it, and it's just a bad look. And now they're just like It's like the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing the finger at each other.
Yeah,
That was such a ringer reference right there. That was good. I would get the fuck out of there, dude. Like if I was Josh Allen, I'd force my way out. I would try to go to like Pittsburgh or like imagine Josh Allen in Minnesota. How cool would that shit be?
Okay. I could see Josh Allen being like, all right, he seems like the type of guy who is very loyal and a hard worker and all that. And I could see him this season being like, even if when he's alone and with his thoughts, or he's talking to like his wife or like a trusted confidant, he might be like,
ooh, alone with his thought.
Alone with his thoughts, alone with his baddie.
She is very attractive. I thought when I was single.
I could see him being like, dude, I don't feel great about these decisions that the team is making, but like, I love this city and I love this franchise and I want to bring them a title, so I'm going to do everything I can. But like I said, if it goes bad, could easily see him start putting feelers out sending a little bug out there that's like, Josh Allen is not exactly happy with his contract or blah, blah, blah. Could see him being on another team in 2028 or 29.
Yeah, he deserves a ring. And like, I don't feel this way about any other player. Like, I don't think any player deserves whatever. Like, right? Like, they have the privilege of holding one of 32 jobs that are like the most sought after in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like, just being a starting quarterback in the NFL and like, it's huge, right? The opportunity that provides for you. Being one of the best starting quarterbacks in the NFL, a perennial award winner, the best of the best. Like, he's never gonna. His like great grandchildren are never gonna have to work in their lives if they don't want to. But he's a good dude. Everything you see about him, he seems like a genuinely good person. He's great with kids. He is great with the community. Like, he's a good guy, and he deserves to have this thing that he wants. And like, I know that nobody really deserves anything. You get what you deserve, right? Especially when it comes to competition and to sports. Like, it is what it is. Like, fairness as a concept really doesn't like have a place in the real world. But man, I hope he gets one. And the more we see about Buffalo, the more I want to see him not get one there.
Not only does he deserve this, we as fans deserve to watch him play in a Super Bowl. Like,
yes,
I want to see him like do like a John Elway, like run for the first down and get smacked and fly all over the place and land there and like,
or like jump from like the 7-yard line.
Yeah, or
and
like
do like the fucking Michael Jordan hold the ball
like,
out. Yeah,
that should be something that we get to see, even if he loses. Like,
but no, we're watching Drake May and Sam Darnold instead. And like, no disrespect to those guys, like especially Sam Darnold.
They earned their spot there.
More on that later, but like, yeah, like these are the marquee players. Like, we should see Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. We should fucking see Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl. Right? Like, we've gotten to see so much Mahomes in the Super Bowl. And guess what? He is great and he is fun to watch objectively. That is an undeniable truth. But I would like to see these other guys get a shot too. I'd love to see Baker Mayfield in a Super Bowl. That would be fun. Could you imagine him? A minute 17 on the clock, 2 timeouts. They're down 5 points.
Yeah.
That would be fun shit.
And as much as Sam Darnold's like rise to prominence has been, pretty cool to watch also. And I know as much as you don't like him, it would have been kind of cool to see Matthew Stafford in the Super Bowl, to see
he's already gotten
a gutsy performance from him. He had his chance and he made it.
And guess what? He fucking blew it. He couldn't beat the Seahawks. Too bad. That sucks. You're a dumb receiver who doesn't think concussions exist. Didn't get out of bounds.
Get out of bounds, yeah.
Right? Like, that's how the game goes. Sorry.
And
sorry that your sexy Rain Man coach isn't going to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, sorry, your genius coach who never makes a mistake, like absolutely does not give a shit about special teams at all. Like, Sean McVay clearly does not value special teams. He clearly doesn't think it's like real football or something. I don't. No, I can't think of another explanation for how many, like, it's one of those. It's like sorry to make another nerdy or RPG reference, but like when Sean McVay is doling out skill points to his teams, he never puts it on special teams. Like they really don't care. Like any team that gets rid of their kicker and fires a new one, or gets a new one in the middle of the season, like they're not. He just doesn't value it. I don't know how much better to say it.
No, I mean you're right. Like, and it's crazy that he sees the game that way because like football is a game that is like truly won in the margins. So like to not
right
put stock into like a phase of the game that is like that cleans up the fucking margins when you look at the box score is crazy to me.
But when you contrast that with a coach like Ben Johnson, who his kicker had some issues in parts of the season, but they stuck with him and he ended up nailing those fucking field goals against the Packers, and it was really windy and scary out. And like you stuck, like, because it's a team sport. It's building a team that 55 actual human beings on the field, trying to get them all on the same page. And when you're just looking at them like numbers on a spreadsheet or like fantasy football players, they're just like, cut him and get another one in here. Like that's
stupid and dumb and bad. I would like to talk about Sam Darnold real quick.
Good.
That's cool, Liam. I'm happy for him. I was listening to Sheil Kapadia joint. I think it was like a Ringer Daily. Love that guy. The Ringer's finally investing in like tolerable personalities.
Nice, concise show. I love the 30-minute format.
Oh yeah, he's great. I love Sheil. I'm so happy that he's like getting like broader exposure because I've been listening to him on my Eagles shows for like the last 10 years now, and he is a fucking treat. He is very smart about football.
And he cares about putting together a good show too. He's not one of those.
Oh yeah, attention to detail.
A lot of guys are good writers or good analysts, but not good podcast hosts.
Right, and he's adapted very well. Like he cut his teeth being in the a national reporter, like a national beat guy. But regardless, Sam Darnold. Sheil made a point that like Sam Darnold may be the only starting quarterback in the league who is like a normal guy, besides Bryce down in Carolina.
Oh.
I couldn't remember his name for a second, so I just called him Bryce, like we're on a first name basis. And I think that's kind of true. Like he seems like a very down to earth guy. He's not like a psychopath about football. He's not just like one of these like soulless PR machines just regurgitating the same empty platitudes over and over again. And you got to think that it's because of the career that he's had, right? Like, look what a journey he's had. He was a top 10 pick, labeled a bust, goes to Carolina, doesn't work out there, goes to Minnesota, has an awesome season, falls apart in the playoffs, gets booted out of Minnesota, lands in Seattle and has to endure a lot of like they overpaid him and like he had one good season. Is he really the guy? And blah, blah, blah. And now he's in the Super Bowl. And he is just like I said, like a down to earth, normal, cool guy. And because he's had such a humbling up and down career, I think that he's never going to be that dude who's like a psychotic competitor or like thinking that he's the best all the time and fuck everyone else. Like I will drink your children's blood if I have to win this game. And it's exciting to see that, especially today when like in a society where we reward the worst kinds of people and we reward the worst types of behavior, to see kind of a guy who is more in touch and humble and just kind of an everyman. I would say Jared Goff. I put Jared Goff into that conversation as well. But yeah, I'm happy. And like the career that he's had, like holy shit, like he's been groomed as his quarterback prospect since he was in high school, probably junior high. He went to what? He went to Mater D, or like one of like the Southern California like elite prep schools. Like
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, he went to like one of
he went to San Clemente High School. Is that like a powerhouse?
I believe so. Yes, because he was like in the recruiting class with Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Like he's part of this high school recruiting class where like it's kind of legendary. Like
Ryan Sheckler went there.
There were three Heisman winners in this one recruiting class. It's kind of crazy.
Right.
Kyler Murray was in it. So is it Kyler Baker, Lamar Jackson were all in the same recruiting class. And like, so this has been a very long journey for him. Very public ups and very, very public downs with the he's seen ghosts and like that kind of gets released. And like, I don't know, everywhere you go, you saw it in New York, like guys from the defense, his teammates defend him in the media. You saw this as early as or as recent as this year. A guy on defense, a defensive lineman, defending Sam Darnold in the media, saying, "Do not blame this loss on him. Like, how dare you blame this on Sam?" Like, guys love him because he's a good dude, and like, here's a great case of a guy who's worked really hard, overcome a lot of obstacles, and is one win away from the ultimate achievement in his sport. And I'm excited. Like, it's the human stuff in sports that I love. Like, I was so excited about that Broncos game because of the potential for Jarrett Stidham to kind of write his own hero's journey here. That was exciting. That was very human to see a backup step in there in a high leverage situation. And if he can do it, he's going to change the trajectory of his entire life, his entire legacy. Like, generations of his children behind him. He's changing their path as well. If it would have gone differently. And I gotta love it, man. You gotta love seeing Sam Darnold in this position. And like that alone is enough to like watch the game, I think. Like a guy that has been kicked in the nuts very publicly over and over again, now in position to earn the highest achievement in his sport that he has spent his entire life playing and working towards. And it's cool, right? It's something, it's more than just like an underdog story. It's so fucking human. And it's something that everybody can relate to. And I'm excited for that alone. It's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to root against him. I don't know who can even be a Sam. Some people used to not like him because when he was bad or when he played for bad teams, people just thought he was a bust and didn't like him because of that. But at this point, I don't see how you can not like him, I guess, unless you're a Patriots fan or whatever. But yeah, I wonder if we will start seeing more athletes like him and more athletes like Sam Darnold and maybe say like Jokic and even like SGA and Wemby, who are like, and less athletes who are like Michael Jordan or Tom Brady, like you said, like cutthroat, like at all costs, like I'll ruin my fucking personal life to achieve
Brady.
what I need to achieve. Yeah.
That soundbite of Tom Brady saying like, "I didn't lose my fucking wife and kids. I didn't leave my wife and kids to lose to fucking Mitch Trubisky or whatever." I can't remember who the other quarterback was, but like it was a mean thing to say.
Was it when he was clapping back at Baker Mayfield, or the stories about how the Buccaneers were saying like it's more fun with Baker than it is with Brady?
No, this was.
He tried clapping back and being like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought winning a bunch of Super Bowls was fun."
That's different. This is like, I think the year they won the Super Bowl or the year after when he came back and his wife left him with the kids. And he's like yelling at his teammates on the sideline. And he's like, "I didn't lose my fucking wife and kids to be losing to Mitch fucking Trubisky." Or I'll look up who it was if you vamp for a second. But yeah, I think maybe we do see a turn away from lionizing the worst types of people. Like personality defects we have put on a pedestal because of achievement.
If you think about it, like I just don't think this new generation of kids, I don't think that mentality is as prominent, because like in college with the transfer portal and NIL, the kids are now like empowered to be like, you know what? If I don't personally like what's going on like in my life, I can change it and change my environment. I don't have to deal with motherfucking Nick Saban or Joe Paterno types anymore. Like we actually have the power to do something about that and get out of these situations and go do something that's more favorable to our life that we want to live, like even outside of football. Like I'll transfer to a warm weather place because I don't want to play on the East Coast, wherever it is. So now these players are not coming to the NFL and are like, I'm going to do it. I want to succeed and I want to be the best at this, but I'm not going to like make ruin my life over it or ruin my personal life over it. But
Yeah.
and you can still find success. You can still you can look to guys like Sam Darnold who are like, look, that guy made the Super Bowl and he isn't a fucking psycho freak. He just did what he needed to do and studied film and was a good person to his teammates and helped any way he could and took coaching and was willing to try new things, willing to adapt to how many motherfucking coaches and offensive coordinators and quarterback coaches has that guy gone through? And he's on his 15th whatever fucking offensive coordinator, and he's in the Super Bowl. So your environment makes a lot of difference. Your power and willingness to change your environment makes a lot of difference, and it's all proven by Mr. Darnold.
I think that's like what a wonderful way to articulate the sentiment I was trying to articulate, Anthony. And I agree with you. I love that. Thank you for sharing. It was Kenny Pickett. He was losing to the Steelers.
Oh yeah.
And they ended up losing that game by 2 points. So
he did.
He did.
Family to lose the game.
He lost his to lose to Kenny Pickett, which is tough. But hey, all that guy really cares about is status and money. Like, I've talked about this before, and I think I posted something about this on Father's Day on my own little account. But yeah, congratulations on all you got a bunch of shiny jewelry. That's cool, but you're not a real man. You're not a real man if you are prioritizing winning and trophies over your fucking kids, over tucking your kids into bed and spending time with them. And that's just the truth. That is something that a weak-minded man with poor character would do. Because at the end of the day, it truly is about the time that you spend with the people that are closest to you. There's a great saying. It's how do kids spell love? It's time. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're spending real time with your kids and you're being present and you're kind of connected, that's what they care about. How they feel loved. And I see that in my house every day. So no, Tom Brady is not a hero. He's not a man. He's kind of a sad dude who his family doesn't have anything to really do with him because he chased legacy over taking care of his own kids. And that's really pathetic.
When you look at it in that context, it makes it even more sad about how he's, now that he's a commentator, it's been it's his third season of doing that, second season.
Yeah,
and they're still doing all these ads and PR. They said he couldn't do it. He was an underdog, and now he's back. And it's you're the fucking broadcast guy, okay, dude? You're not some freedom fighter or some cause, or you weren't some underdog. You're one of the most powerful fucking figures in sports. And this is supposed to be a leisurely thing. You're supposed to be semi-retired and this is a leisurely thing that you do in your free time. But you're clearly looking at it as, like you said, another status and power thing of being I'm going to be, not only am I the greatest quarterback of all time, I'm going to become the greatest commentator of all time. I'm going to fight for my.
And honestly, he's pretty mid at it.
Oh my god, he's not even that good at it. He's improved.
No, he's average.
Since he first started, but it's still distract. He can still be distracting and weird. And he's always yelling and yelping, and it's it's just and the way he had to. Greg Olsen was on the track to become the sort of top guy, and they knocked him off the pedestal for Tom Brady. Now Greg Olsen's on the C team, which is a fucking travesty. It's just he's so selfish and narcissistic. It's unbearable. He does know a lot about football, and that's the best part about his commentator work is that when he reveals his vast knowledge of the game, it's pretty interesting, but the rest of it is so annoying.
Yeah,
it's just
it's not great. I imagine that he wanted to rush into the commentary stuff because coming home to an empty and dark house every day is so sad. It's he has to stay on the road. He has to stay busy.
He has to stay preparing and looking for film. Oh, and not to mention he's the part owner of the Raiders. So you're not some underdog blue collar working your way up the fucking ranks, dude. You literally own a team and have decision making power with one of the 32 franchises. Give me a break with this shit, man. The Raiders are so pathetic.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. And anyone that's been away from their family or their kids for a stretch of time can relate to that, like the feeling of like wanting to be with them, but like he has the opposite. He
He
like
doesn't
wants
have that
like
feeling.
he's just so self-absorbed and doesn't seem like he has the ability to be an effective partner or a good father.
He
And
has
it's
that
really
feeling.
sad.
He has that feeling about football when he's with his kids. Like when he has
Yes.
to, when he's at his court appointed 5 hours a week with his kids. They're like he's like watching them play soccer or something. He's like, fuck, I really should be studying Jacksonville film right now, dude. This is bullshit.
Yeah, and then he's like, his kids are like, Dad, I love you. Can I have a hug? And he's like, Here, take this Patek Philippe $200,000 watch instead, and don't touch me.
I told you,
Don't touch me unless you're kissing me on the mouth while I'm getting a frontal massage.
I already made your mother buy a $25,000 NFT of me virtually hugging you. Just go fucking do that.
Yeah, let's go look at that. I know it's just a file, but you own the file. You know, it's not the
ChatGPT,
same if somebody just
how do you
copies it.
fulfill your child's needs emotionally?
Chat, how do I get my kid to shut up about wanting to hang out with me? Yeah, he's a bad guy, and that sucks for him.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Ultimately, yeah, he's a bad guy. Is there any?
There's one last thing I want to touch on really briefly, and like this is more of like a football media critique. But earlier, I think it was like over the weekend, Mina Kimes posted a thing about Johnny Manziel that was a little unsavory. Basically, some guy got a promotion to be like the Browns offensive coordinator, and he kind of looks like Johnny Manziel. And she made like a crack about how this guy looks like if Johnny Manziel listened to his angels and not his demons.
My God.
Which is shitty and like really like it helps to further stigmatize mental illness and addiction. And unless you're somebody that has like dealt with that, like or know somebody, it's kind of like tough to understand. But like I've dealt with mental illness and addiction at the same time, and it's really hard and it's scary and it causes you to lose yourself and lose people close to you, and you feel like you're gonna die. And it's not just because you're listening to your demons; it's because your brain isn't making the right signals. The chemistry in your brain is all fucked up, and so you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, and you don't realize it. And it's hard, and you know it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. And yeah, you wish that somebody that was in Manziel's position would have like gotten help or taken a little more responsibility. But like when you have a lot of people in your corner that are just encouraging you to be a certain way and you have all this money and access, like that's devastating. Like I used to joke, like people would be like, what would you do if you won the lottery? And I would say, like, I would die. And that's true because I would have all this money and all I would do is put shit into my body and go do stuff and it would kill me. This is before I started working on myself and understood a lot of things about myself and had like the proper diagnoses, right? And it just sucks to see somebody with her voice and her platform who is like a very, very good reporter and who's very important to not just sports media, but American media at large because she has really carved a space for herself and is a non-white woman. And like, I understand that there's like, it is cool and empowering when you see her like clap back at trolls or whatever. But just taking a shot at a mentally ill guy with addiction problems sucks. And it's really tone deaf and mean. And it's why people who are like Johnny Manziel and like who are a little bit like me or like your neighbor or anyone you may know, it's why they don't get help. It's why they don't talk about this stuff. It's why they end up like falling deeper and deeper into a hole and unfortunately killing themselves because people don't take it seriously and people just think they're crazy or wrong or bad or selfish or immature. And it just sucks. And it's really disappointing. And there's a big difference between like clapping back at some pig troll online who is saying like, you don't know about football because you're a woman, than there is just like taking a low blow, a cheap shot at a guy who fucked his life up because he's sick.
Yeah, we should hold someone like Mina Kimes to higher standards. Like if someone like, if like Skip Bayless or fucking who's that one like a really conservative guy that's up the former
Clay Travis.
Something like, yeah. So if someone like that said this, we wouldn't even be talking about it or being discussing it. But Mina Kimes, as you know, yeah, we should be holding her to higher standards. And something else that has bothered me that sort of is related to that, not quite as serious as that, but the way sometimes media members speak about the game or speak about players in ways that are kind of like dehumanizing. This one isn't, this isn't quite as serious as the Mina Kimes and Johnny Manziel thing, but just the way I've heard some media people do this talk about the draft, and this isn't the first time something like this has happened, and this happens in other sports too, when there's this perception that the draft class isn't that good, they sort of just wave their hands, just sort of talking about it like, oh, this draft class is good. There's no one good in this draft, blah, blah, blah. Like, something I can't quite put my finger on kind of bothers me about that, because it's like, how do you know that not one of these 300 or whatever so guys that gets picked from the draft is going to be like a Hall of Famer or like a really good player that you personally can't predict right now? Do you really? This goes back to why I don't super like draft coverage and draft stuff, because these people of course don't know the future and are always wrong, constantly wrong about prognostications about players. All you can do is, if they're honest with themselves, then all they can do is really just evaluate what they've seen up to now and be like, hey, here's what this guy is as a college player and what those skills might mean in the NFL. They can't. I don't like when they're like, this guy's gonna be a bust, this guy's gonna be out of the league in 2 years, whatever. Like, and it goes to a deeper thing of like, just talking about guys and careers, like sort of just talking about them like names on a sheet or numbers on a spreadsheet, of just being like, just flippantly sort of talking about people's lives and stuff. I don't know. I guess I'm sure I'm guilty of doing stuff like that too, but specifically with draft coverage, it always feels a little dehumanizing in a different sort of weirder way.
People joke about how it's like, well, we treat these guys like cattle. They're in their underwear. And it's like, yeah, it is very dehumanizing, because like you're just trying to extract some kind of like human worth or value from projected ability. Like, and that's how you're going to boil down someone's like worthiness. As a human being, it's shitty. And it's shitty to look at it that way. And like, yeah, maybe a draft class may not be as exciting, 1 year compared to others in terms of like projected success or like highly marketable prospects entering the league. But yeah, to like really like dehumanize a large group of people, saying like, oh, this whole draft is just bad and none of these guys are like worth a shit, sucks.
Yeah.
Just because you can't find something that you're excited about, or there is a consensus that there aren't a handful of guys that are very, very exciting. So to just kind of like blanket all these guys as unworthy sucks. And like, yeah, the draft is, like, to use this like kind of eye-rolly word, it can be problematic in a way, because like the process, like everything about the draft is very dehumanizing. And you look at people as numbers and not names. Literally, they have numbers on their shirts when they're at the combine.
Yeah, like,
and you're
into a sweater.
You're looking at like the results of their testing, and you're kind of ranking these guys based off numbers. And
they're always saying things like, this guy's a freak, this guy's superhuman, this guy's out of this world. But like, I don't know. It's maybe we're being a little bit the friend that's too woke, and certainly there's worse problems in the world, especially right now.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't. The last thing we really need to be worrying about during this fucking moment is like policing other people's language on the NFL Network. But that has always been a little weird to me. But speaking of the draft,
me too.
One team that's going to be, and I just want to touch on this for just a second, maybe get your thoughts. Is the Broncos. I'm not going to go the whole episode and not mention them once. I don't want to spend too long on the actual game part of it, because ultimately it was just a combination of not having their starting quarterback on relatively short notice, an insane blizzard happening, and Drake making a couple really good plays with his feet.
Yeah.
and a few missed field goals. Like it was a number of things that led up to it, but ultimately it was going to be a pretty tall task for the Broncos to overcome. It sucks to see fucking moon-faced, dopey-ass looking fucking Drake May have less than 100 yards passing and get to play in the Super Bowl. And I don't even have the stats in front of me, but how many times he's been sacked and fumbled and intercepted and having bad numbers in all these fucking playoff games and still being able to play the Super Bowl. It's like, whatever. But what I really want to talk about is
the Broncos fired their offensive coordinator, their wide receivers coach, and their cornerbacks coach. And I'm wondering, are they going to
Who was their OC?
Their OC. Sorry, give me a second here. I was gonna say as of now, Davis Webb I don't think has been. Oh, Joe Lombardi was their OC. Sorry.
Okay.
Davis Webb is the quarterback's coach who's been mentioned in a lot of interviews and being a head coach.
Yeah, he's kind of a hot candidate. OC guy right now too.
He's kind of like a hot commodity sort of on the football market. And as of now, I don't think he has been hired anywhere. I'm wondering if Sean Payton can sweet talk him into staying there and elevating him to OC, and then being like, and then after that you can go wherever you want because I think Sean Payton knows what's going on, and I'm wondering if he's telling him like, look, man, give us one more year, I'll elevate you to OC, and then you can go fucking unleash the dragons on the rest of the league wherever you want, and it's gonna only increase your stock, not decrease it if you stay with me. Because it's getting pretty late. The sun is setting on the old coaching circle, and the only remaining head coach jobs are the three worst jobs in the league, which is the Raiders, Browns, and Cardinals. So it's like, do you want to go eat shit by the spoonful with one of those fucking hellholes for 18 months?
Yeah.
Or do you want to stay here where we just were the number one seed? I mean.
Yeah. It's weird. It's been a very weird coaching carousel this offseason.
Yes, unpredictable.
There's still a number of coordinator jobs open as well. Eagles haven't hired an offensive coordinator yet.
Yeah, that's one of the first things that came up when I searched Davis Webb is Eagles' interest in him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he has he got his first career start against the Eagles in 2022 when they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Cardinals. Or the Cardinals, Jesus, the Chiefs that year, and the year that Jalen had like the MVP caliber season. I remember that, the Davis Webb game. But yeah, he was essentially like a backup practice squad quarterback / quarterbacks coach for them then. Like he was helping coach up Daniel Jones a bit. I have heard him linked to a number of teams. It seems like it's so hard, right? Because like, you feel like as an assistant, you have to take opportunities when they come up because you never know like what the team is going to be like next year that you're on. So like when you have this window, you got to take it. Like this might be your only chance to be a head coach, so fucking go for it. But I think there's a lot to be said about like waiting, maybe getting some more coordinator experience. What I would say is like Davis Webb, he's kind of like one of those like underrated quarterback guru types.
Right.
I think he would. I don't know if he's ever called plays. I don't know what kind of an offensive coordinator would be. I would think that his best bet for his career is to be the Broncos OC, work with Bo Nix, and then see how this offense improves over the next year. You're going to have an even better Bo Nix on a rookie contract. So like you're still going to be able to bring some talent in around him and like maybe strengthen the O-line, maybe get some more exciting skill players, especially at tight end. So you'd think his best bet would be stick with the Broncos, be an OC, then explore options next year if you have a good offense. But again, I don't know. It's been unpredictable this year. People are doing weird things. You see, Mike McDaniel would rather
be an OC than a head coach of a garbage
exactly
in this franchise,
and go be an OC with a struggling, budding
The winner.
superstar and not a proven guy that has been to multiple Super Bowls and has won a Super Bowl MVP and has been in MVP conversations and like a team that has pound for pound more talent than the Chargers just on paper. So I don't know. It's really unpredictable and strange. I would think that he stays in Denver in this system he's comfortable and familiar with. You know, offensive coordinator, you're still making like what, close to $1 million a year. It's not bad money. There's familiarity. You know your players. You kind of reload and go for it again. There's no reason to think that the Broncos are going to be any worse next year, especially if they tweak some things with their offensive roster. But I don't know. At the end of the day, like my team is still looking to hire an offensive coordinator, and it's very late in the cycle. You know, the Super Bowl's in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. It's in 10 days. So I don't know. It's fucked up right now. The Eagles are looking at potentially hiring Jim Bob Cooter as their offensive coordinator, which, like, if that happens, like, I don't know if I would watch. And
Oh, he's not that bad, is he?
dude, he was Matt Stafford's
Yeah, right. He was with the Lions for a while.
He's Lions. I mean, his offense is essentially the same as Nick Sirianni's. He's been in the Eagles organization before. He's been a coach on the staff before. That would not be a very inspired hire to me. And I think the offense would look a lot like it did this year, next year, if he is hired. What I want that team to do is get somebody from outside of the building, outside of this coaching tree, and bring in new ideas. Like new creative ideas is what this team needs. They don't need another Sirianni yes man. And at least you guys have a brash head coach that people want to work with. The Eagles have a brash, outspoken head coach who people seem to kind of resent. Nobody wants this job. It's kind of a toxic job right now, and that sucks. So I hope Davis Webb takes the OC job in Denver. But if not, come to Philly.
Yeah, it's kind of like musical chairs right now because whatever team is left not having an OC when Davis Webb makes his decision, and maybe one or two of these guys make the decision too, it's going to be like, well, now what? Like if he leaves, then the Broncos are going to have, you know, even as a team that made the number one seed and made it to the AFC Championship game and lost at home only because you were missing a quarterback by 3 points at a fucking blizzard, or you missed 2 field goals. It went for 4th when you should have went for a field goal. But
yeah, I applauded Sean for going for it. But
considering how close you were to the promised land, then you were next season going into looking at it with now no OC, no wide receivers coach, and no cornerbacks coach. That's you know, not good. You want to feel you, and then you would, I guess, be forced to just promote from within at those positions. And I don't know. It's getting late.
I don't know.
There's too many positions and not enough candidates right now.
There's also like college
guys who aren't. Yeah, there's college guys, and there's guys who just weren't here last year.
Those aren't reported. Those interviews aren't reported because it fucks up recruiting.
Really?
So those happen in secret. Yeah. So you always hear about it after the fact, after they've turned the job down.
Right. I wonder what we'll hear about Marcus Freeman.
I don't know if I'd want, like, I don't know. I'm not really convinced Marcus Freeman's a great coach. I don't think he's a bad coach. But I don't know if I would want to bring him in as the answer.
Yeah, it seems like people. I saw his name getting floated for the Steelers job, and I was like, I don't know if he is. I mean,
obviously he's like the man at Notre Dame. He's beloved there. He's done a great job. You know, took him to the Natty last year. Probably could have taken them to a Natty if they were in the tournament this year. But I don't know if he's ready to go from being like the man at a college program to being the man at a pro program and not having any pro experience. Like, it's like, that's really difficult to do. And you've got to be some kind of, not only do you have to be like the most charismatic guy on earth, but you've got to have like major connections to fill, you know, some good, you know, like have some elite coordinators come with you or be hired by you or whatever. That just seems like really difficult to pull off. I mean, maybe he could do it. Maybe he is that guy. But if I were him, I'd be like, I'd like to be maybe like an OC or like a head coach position where there's not like a, maybe he takes a Cardinals or whatever job. But also Notre Dame is so good right now, and I think they have like a window. I just think they have a unique window right now, and he shouldn't leave. I don't know, but who knows?
Agree.
Who knows?
I think staying pat and running it back with the Broncos, like I think it's going to open up more opportunity than it will like fuck your career over anyway. Because you're seeing OCs get fired and like make like a lateral move to be an OC somewhere else. That's not crazy.
Or go down to college like Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith's
Arthur Smith.
State.
It seems like a bad hire for Ohio State. I mean,
really?
I don't. Yeah, I don't see Arthur Smith necessarily as like a great offensive mind. I think he's like a very mid offensive coordinator, but like that wouldn't fire me up if I was an Ohio State fan, especially after like losing in the playoff game, being like such a powerhouse during the regular season and then shitting your pants. Like, is Arthur Smith really gonna give us the boost that we need? I don't know.
Yeah, can you imagine Arthur Smith like recruiting and trying to talk to these athletes?
No.
Can you see? I don't really know how that plays in like a room of like a son of a CEO, like a fucking Kendall Roy character trying to do recruiting in like Georgia and Texas and shit.
It's very strange.
You like CEO style pitches to like.
And he has this bad little mustache.
Kid from was it Michigan or something? I don't know.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll surprise us. That's the extent of my analysis today. Is saying a bunch of shit and then going, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I play both sides, so I always come out on top.
So I still have not seen that show, so I don't understand the reference.
Oh gosh!
But I do understand that maybe he's kind of like Kendall Roy is kind of an obnoxious, twerpy guy, right?
Yeah, he's like had everything handed to him, and is like a spoiled rich kid who like knows like surface level stuff, but can't do like the real work. Coincidentally, I still have Jim Bob Cooter's Wikipedia page open. Birthday is the day after mine, July 3rd.
Also, he broke into a woman's house and crawled into her bed. He was hammered drunk. Broke into this is like here. I'm gonna get his Wikipedia page open. Do you have his legal history?
In 2009, he was charged with aggravated burglary after climbing into a window and getting into a woman's bed. The charges were later dropped, which of course means nothing.
Yeah, that means that like maybe he's like she was harassed into taking money. So 2009, he would have been
31
with the Colts. So yeah, he was a GA at Tennessee. He was with the Colts in 2009. But yeah, I don't know. He was a consultant in Philly in 2021, which was not a good year for Eagles football.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that it looks like he kind of like dropped out of football for a while because like, he goes from. So he's an offensive assistant in the Broncos of 2013, the greatest offense of all time. Gets a promotion to quarterbacks coach of Detroit Lions. And then he's the OC of the Lions. Then when he gets fired from there, he goes back down to being a running backs coach for the Jets. Then in 21, he's simply a consultant for the Eagles, which God knows what the fuck that means. That means he basically knew someone on the Eagles staff that was like, hey, buddy, I can get you a paycheck if you just come in and talk to us.
Yeah, and then he maybe comes up, he cuts some film and it's like, hey, look at these plays. These might be good for us. And then doesn't do shit and just kind of stands around at practice.
Or that he the times he does come to the facility, like he's in meetings with them, and then he leaves, and then they're like, "All right, we could have the real meeting now."
Well, yeah, a lot of those
But then he was the OC for the Colts last year, and the previous.
Yeah, but he wasn't the play caller.
Yeah.
Head coach is the play caller, and he's the guy we shouldn't have let walk. Shane Steichen, we should have given Shane Steichen everything and kept him in house, and then just like. After that first meltdown season, if Shane Steichen was still our OC, like you fire Sirianni and promote Steichen. Like I miss Steichen.
I was gonna say how because David has complained about the Packers are notoriously don't really pay coaches or try to get like hotshot coordinator positions filled or like hired. Are
The
the Eagles
Eagles
like
do the same
that? Are the
thing.
Eagles willing
Yeah.
to like go outside Oregon a lot? Are they like an in-house upgrade from the house type of
So it
team?
depends.
I don't really.
Andy Reid was a surprise hire. He was not on anyone's radar when he was hired
Right.
in like 99, 98, 99. He was kind of the unpopular move. He's here for forever. And then Doug
Was Lurie
Peterson.
still the owner back then?
Yeah, Lurie's been the owner since like the mid to late 90s.
Okay.
I think like 95 he bought the team, 96. But Peterson was not the exciting candidate. He was like a kind of shocking move. People were like, oh, okay. Goes to the Super Bowl. Fucking Sirianni was not the guy. The only reason we hire Sirianni is because we were going to hire Josh McDaniel as our head coach, but he ends up taking a job in Indianapolis instead and canceling his interview.
That's it. Oh my
so
god.
That was a bullet dodge. So we hire Sirianni because he came from Andy Reid's coaching tree. He's an Andy Reid guy, and like he is also like a Frank Reich disciple too. Frank Reich was our OC with Doug Peterson. So they have a history of like looking outside the mainstream, hiring unpopular candidates that aren't really on the radar, and it kind of works out. Well, I mean, I think a Super Bowl with each of like the last two coaching hires, I think you could say like unequivocally it worked out. So who's to say? I don't know. I don't like Sirianni. I'm looking forward to like going 4-13 this year and firing him. And then like, but it's also we're gonna blame Jalen and get rid of Jalen, which is a nightmare. Yeah. I think not a lot of people realize how much like Jalen Hurts is very much on the hot seat.
Yeah,
this coming year.
Temperature has turned way up on him. I feel like since
which
the
is
season
crazy.
ended. I feel like even in the playoff loss, since they lost in the playoffs, I feel like the temperature has been turned up way up on him.
Yeah,
right?
it seems unfair to me. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there was in the middle of the season they were talking about getting rid of him, and like
it's not to
benching
say there
him
was nothing during the season for sure.
Yeah. And right now they're talking about drafting a quarterback in the second round to
Oh Lord.
like kind of take over for Jalen in the future. That's always been their move. They did that with Kevin Cobb. They did that with Jalen for Carson Wentz. Like that's kind of the Eagles' move, but I don't know. I think it's because of his attitude, because of how he presents himself. He seems like a very frustrating guy to deal with because he's always like non-emotional and very pragmatic
Stoic,
and kind of talk. He's very, very stoic. Like, and he like talks in these like kind of corny metaphors sometimes. But I think that there is a lot of unconscious bias that goes into that because when you see like a very confident, successful black man in this country, and things aren't like the second things aren't going right, look at how people start talking about him, and look how people treat Justin Herbert in comparison.
I was
look
literally
at Josh
about
Allen.
to say Justin Herbert. The way he's very quiet and doesn't talk very much or say much and doesn't like he
Right.
like shies away from social media, and it's like funny and cute and quirky when he does it.
Right. Same thing with Josh Allen. Josh Allen is very respectful, like kind of gives the PR answers. He hasn't won a Super Bowl.
Or Drake May has like a shitty, underwhelming performance in a playoff win, and no one is talking about how he's a wide receiver playing quarterback and doesn't belong there.
Yes.
No one seems to be saying that about Drake May. They seem to think he's like a small bean that's like accidentally winning MVP.
It's because there's like still a lot of unconscious bias, and that like highly successful black quarterbacks aren't given the benefit of the doubt as much as their white counterparts. Fuck, look how people are talking about Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson. Towards the end of the season, before they fire Harbaugh, a lot of people are saying they should move on from Lamar and keep Harbaugh, which is crazy. He's a future Hall of Famer. He plays the game unlike anybody ever has. He's an incredible runner, an incredible processor, can make like short, intermediate, and deep throws. Like he's the total package. But because he is who he is because of the pigment of his skin, you want to move on from him. And I think it's very obvious, but like it's one of those things that people refuse to acknowledge because like it's like, oh well, you're making it about race. And it's like, well, no, your unconscious bias has already made this about race. I'm just addressing the elephant in the room.
Get him, get the ass. When you think about
Oh,
it,
yeah.
though, the Eagles have kind of Eagles maybe have kind of dodged a bullet by not firing a bunch of people in this particular coaching cycle because of how chaotic and weird it fucking is. Like, who knows if the Eagles aren't the one if they had fired Sirianni or I guess they did fire Patullo.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean,
But
Patullo
only-
was really bad though. And like watching that offense every week was something else, man. And then like there are like halves where it would click, and then like it's like a completely different offense the second half. Like it was insane. Like I felt like I was going crazy all year.
Yeah, it seems like a couple of one or two of these guys might be holding all the cards with this OC race thing because the Eagles don't want to be
Well,
the ones
Kingsbury's
left
still out
on
there.
the music. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. Like I'd rather have him than Jim Bob Cooter. I mean, we were seriously entertaining the idea of hiring Mike Kafka.
Yeah.
Which would have been disastrous. But either way, like we'd have to wait. Hopefully it's figured out by the end of this week. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting until like, I think Super Bowl week, like this next week is when like all the assistants on either Super Bowl team will be interviewed. So maybe there's somebody in New England or Seattle that they want to talk to. That's kind of what Gannon did famously. Instead of focusing on his game plan for the Super Bowl, he was interviewing with Arizona. He was flying to meet with the Cardinals, like right after they win the NFC Championship. So
Even
who
he
knows?
doesn't want to work for the Titans.
Yeah, it's a job. Yeah, where did he go again? Where did
He's the Packers DC now, Jonathan.
Yeah, the
Gannon.
Packers DC. I mean, he's a decent enough DC. That was very funny when you said that Bovino was going to be the Cardinals head coach.
Oh shit! I wanted to open the show. I wanted to do that at the beginning as like a bit, being like, all right,
So Greg Bovino is out at as the commander of ICE, and he has already been requested an interview with the Arizona Cardinals.
The Arizona Cardinals. They would
He's
like
a perfect
that. I
fit.
mean,
Yeah, he'd be great.
open the show with that soundbite that we just did.
I can imagine his prissy little voice at the press conferences being like, our guys are under fire out there every day. Have you seen all the things coming out about how like any like MAGA lady with like a hot lady profile picture that replied to him, he would like follow him, even if it was like the middle of the day when they were doing all these sieges on these cities.
No
records
way.
of him like a lady with like MAGA, Trump #1 as their username, and it's just like a older looking like housewife hot lady, and she's like, I think you're doing a great job out there and so handsome too, and he would like it, reply to it, and be like, thank you, blah blah blah, and then follow him. And it'd be like at 1 p.m. on a Wednesday when like the records show that they were like in Chicago or Indianapolis or anywhere.
Yeah,
he's such a little
innocent
freak.
people in the street. Yeah.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Did you see about how Paul Allen said that the Vikings radio broadcaster has been suspended because he said that there's paid protesters?
Oh yeah, paid protesters. Yeah.
What a jackass, dude. He's such a
fucking moron. It's just the people like that, like when they say stuff like that, it's so revealing about how they see the world, and it just shows their complete lack of empathy that like they can't imagine anyone caring about strangers unless they're being paid to care for them. Like
they say it every
pathetic.
time too, like, and it's always like who's the guy that they always say are paying him? What's his name? That they always think,
Soros.
Yeah, George Soros.
Soros.
These are all Soros paid, blah blah blah. It's like
paid agitators.
They paid agitators, paid protesters. They really can't even fathom a world where people care about each other enough to go outside.
Because they don't care about
and, like,
anybody but themselves.
Stand up. Like, do you think the Boston Tea Party people were paid protesters? Do you think the like fucking Brooks Brothers guys in the 2000 election were paid protesters? I doubt it. Like, oh, it's bleak. It's fucked up. He's a dumbass though. He's kind of a broadcasting legend though. He's led to some of the best sound bites of all time are Paul Allen. But it's because he's a thin-skinned dingus is why he is such a great radio broadcaster.
I think that, like, if anything, this period of history has shown, like, not just how, like, selfish people can be, but just how, like, outwardly evil they are. That they just, it's not that they have no problem with innocent people being ripped apart from their families or shot or beaten or killed. They actually want it to happen. A lot of people have revealed just how terrible they are at their core throughout this. And I'm not just talking about the Pegulous, Brandon Bean. But anyway, I'm probably done talking about football.
Or Raiders general manager Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh God. Yeah, where his number 3 in command is like got arrested for being a pedo, and then like all the MAGA people were like, oh, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. You're being anti-Semitic.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's anti-Semitic when you say that if you say an Israeli nationalist shouldn't be molesting kids. It's actually anti-Semitic, so don't say that unless you want to be labeled an anti-Semite, you pig.
Hateful. Hate speech.
It's hate speech.
Well,
but yeah, do you want to?
I don't think we should do. I was gonna say, I don't want to pick the Super Bowl quite yet. We have the next week to.
No, not yet. Yeah, we'll do that next week.
Thinking about it, but do you want to do a short little preview of it, or what we think of it so far?
My first look at the Super Bowl is I think it has the potential to be a very fun game. I think I'm hoping it's a high scoring affair. Their Seattle defense is very, very good, but you continuously see the Patriots kind of like slip away, and because they're just such greasy little slithery bastards. I think the Patriots defense though is very underrated. Like their first drive when they were on defense, like the first drive of the game, they came out so hot. They were pumped the fuck up. And a lot of that is because they're like stupid and have very poor reading comprehension. Because some players said that like, oh, Jared Stidham was running like when he was in the scout team, he was running those plays better than the actual team. And the Patriots took that as like, oh, so you're saying he's better than Drake May, that he's better than us? And it's like, well, no, like he wasn't running scout team this week. He's the starting quarterback, idiot. They were talking about every week before that. And they just like kind of like invented this chip to put on their shoulder, which is funny.
Patriots are right. Patriots love doing that.
Yes, that's just their thing.
It's the Patriot way.
Underrated defense. They have a very good D line. Christian Barmore and Milton Williams are like a very underrated 1-2 interior D line combo. Christian Gonzalez is very good. So I'm just hoping it's a fun, high scoring game. Like honestly, like it's not a matchup that I'm excited about. So I hope the game itself is like a thrill. I hope it's like a fun shootout, kind of like how the Rams Seahawks game was. Like probably in hindsight, we'll realize, oh, like Rams Seahawks, that was kind of the Super Bowl. That was like the fun, perfectly balanced game because I imagine the Seahawks have like the bigger potential to run away with this, and it's not really a game in the second half that much. But we'll see. Drake May has surprised us all year, and then Stephon Diggs is like 32 and always hurt, but that psychopath can really play some ball. So we'll have more primer episode, but I just want it to be fun.
Yeah, my first look, I would say I could see it being a really boring first half, and there being maybe a few couple big defensive plays, like some fumbles or interceptions, but neither team, like both them both having like basically like a feel out first half almost, where they're like not trying anything, and then both very good and good game plan and good adjustment head coaches at halftime do the work some stuff. If they're not too distracted by Bad Bunny's performance, that is. But if they And I could see a couple big plays happening in the second half that are the difference in the game. And I could also see the Patriots winning it. I hate to say it, but I don't think that's going to be my final choice, but I think it's going to be landslide most, when you look at the analysts and what fans think, I think most people are going to be not only rooting for the Seahawks, but thinking that it's going to be like some huge blowout and some huge ass kicking. But, the New England defense has been playing really good game plan defense, like game to game, adjusting to the opponent defense as they have in the years past. And they could rough up Sam Darnold just enough and get one or two Drake May bombs or like maybe running plays. I mean, the difference in the fucking Broncos game was his run plays. If the Seahawks defense is too preoccupied with other stuff and he sneaks out there 2 or 3 times, that could be the fucking game with the way these defenses are playing. So I don't know. That's my thing on it. I'm probably going to end up picking Seahawks. I'm definitely leaning Seahawks, but
Yeah, I'm leaning
not
Seahawks.
counting out the Patriots totally.
I'm leaning Seahawks as well. But I'm hoping that Ice has a good halftime, arresting everyone at the Super Bowl like he said they would, which is like really smart and just a really smart, normal thing to say.
Yeah, all the Tren de Agua members who are bringing illegal drugs into our country all paid $80,000 for Super Bowl tickets and will be there, breaking windows of small businesses and, doing a bunch of bad stuff. That's definitely a logical and real thing that will happen.
Yes, we will protect small business. And small business
any
owners
fucking cost.
They have $500,000 for airfare, Super Bowl tickets, and hotel. And
all of them.
San Clemente or wherever the fuck this game is.
Santa Clara, right?
Santa Clara, yeah.
Well, should we call it there? Do you have any more headlines or anything else in football?
No, that's it for me. I'm excited for the Pro Bowl games. I'm excited to see who's better at dodgeball, the AFC or the NFC.
Shedeur Sanders must feel honored to get the call after 27 other guys said they didn't want to do it. All due respect to Shedeur Sanders, who I have defended in the past, but come on, man.
Oh yeah. So I didn't even know that happened. My wife Olivia, of all people, told she was like, "Yeah, everyone's mad about that Saunders guy," and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, like Sanders, that quarterback you told me about." She knows a lot more about ball than she ever has.
Wow.
And she actually enlightened me on that. I had no idea that he was named to the Pro Bowl until she mentioned it. Because why am I paying attention to NFL headlines the Monday after the conference championships? There's no point. But yeah, I don't really give a shit. Who cares? The Pro Bowl doesn't matter anymore. No one takes it seriously. The only reason players care about it is so they can get their bonuses, and I don't blame them. It's the all-pro teams that really matter to those guys when it comes to true recognition.
They should do maybe like an all-pro chess tournament or an all-pro Fortnite tournament or something that they all do, that they all.
Actually, let them play football again.
Cool.
Just do tackle football and who gives a shit? Do it like NFL Street style. I don't know. You don't need to keep getting so cute with it all the time, or just don't do anything at all. Just name the Pro Bowl guys and give them a bonus, and they all get a trip to Hawaii or something. You don't have to do this cutesy shit.
Maybe do it at a different time. Maybe do it in the preseason, maybe, or something like that, or training camp, maybe. And then no one will really care if they don't really play hard, but it's they'll all be more willing to do it maybe at that time. Because I could see if you're a player that had a really good, if you're a player that had a good season and you lost in the playoffs, you don't want to be hey, do you want to go play this bullshit game in 2 weeks? It's gonna be no, dude, I don't. I want to spend time with my family.
I want to go to fucking.
I want to go
to Tulum or whatever. Yeah. I'm going to go enjoy my money for a second.
But if it's hey, man, in August, do you want to come to Arizona or Florida and do this little flag football thing? And I'd be yeah, all right, cool. Get psyched up for the season to start.
They should do the Pro Bowl here. I would go. If they had the Pro Bowl games here, I would actually go to that.
Where even is it? Is it not in Hawaii anymore? Or don't they do it?
No, I think it's either in Vegas or Orlando or something. Let's see. Let's take a look-see here. But I do have to run in a second.
No, yeah, I know.
I have therapy. Just so everyone knows, I'm like a really cool guy that does therapy. Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl.
Camping World Stadium.
Okay, yeah, that's Orlando. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to check some of it out, and I will report back on my findings.
Real quick before we wrap up, they used to do until I think the early 70s, basically until the merger. I think they used to do in the preseason, it was almost always at Soldier Field. The championship winning, because this was before the Super Bowl, they did the championship winning team versus college all-stars at Soldier Field every year. It was for charity.
I have read about that a little bit in the past.
That's crazy to think about. Can you imagine them?
I think it's good. It's good for the game. As long as it's good for the game. I just care about growing the game. That's all I give a hoot about.
What if they played a different sport? What if they played basketball? Or what if they had a little mini tournament of different sports like ping pong and stuff, a little mini?
I mean, the fact that we're even that's kind of what they do. And the fact that we're even having this conversation, they just shouldn't have it. The NFL doesn't need to make the Pro Bowl money. God, it's just so weird to me.
Should I get a Pro Bowl hat, a Pro Bowl jersey?
So I've thought about it. They sell the jersey tees. And I thought about getting a Jalen Carter Pro Bowl shirt. I thought that'd be fun. Who's gonna buy the Pro Bowl jersey though? Or those fashion jerseys that they do for the Super Bowl, where it's a weird different color.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now for the Seahawks have a black one. It looks pretty ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, the merch is kind of lame. I was really hoping to get a Super Bowl shirt though. I do want to say this though, and I will retrieve the receipts and I'll have them for next week's episode. I kind of called the Seahawks being good. My buddy Brett I met him out here in Phoenix, and he moved back to Seattle because he's smart. And we were talking in August, and he was asking me to tell him about the Seahawks. And I said, NFC West is going to be very competitive. It's kind of up for grabs this year. This is before the season, yes. It's in August during training camp. And I said, don't be surprised if the Seahawks either win the division or make it to the playoffs and make a run, because their defense is going to be very good. And I'm going to draw the receipts from him, and I will present them. I told him this on the phone. I have proof. I also said the same thing about the Bears and was almost right about that.
Yeah,
but I do remember saying Will Anderson Jr. for Defensive Player of the Year, and it looks like that might happen.
Whoa! Ooh, that would piss me off, but he would be deserving of that. But I want who I want to win.
Although it'll probably be Myles Garrett. I think Myles Garrett should win MVP. Or get all them sacks.
I do think that. Okay, now here's my real last thing I'm going to say. Okay. I do think that both Mike McDonald and Mike Vrabel are good at game plan coaching, in the moment, making coaching for the situation, not necessarily what they did all week. They're good teams at adapting to that, so it'll be interesting seeing how they adapt to each other. That's what I'm looking forward to, as well as Bad Bunny.
Do you want to watch? Should we watch the Pro Bowl together? You can get a shirt.
I
and
clicked
put
on
your name on it, so it looks like you went to the Pro Bowl.
I don't think they even have Pro Bowl stuff. I can't.
I'm looking at right now on NFLshop.com.
They have Super Bowl stuff, and they have playoff stuff. Maybe I'm not looking at the right thing.
If you go to NFL Shop, a Fanatics experience, and search Pro Bowl, it shows you all the shirts and stuff they have. I'm looking at an Azeez Al-Shaair 2026 Pro Bowl shirt. And he'd be a good player to support. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's number 0. That's cool. I'm looking. Okay, I see it now. I got it.
I might get a Jalen Carter Pro Bowl shirt and be like, I got it for myself for my birthday, and I've gotten myself 7 birthday gifts already.
I'm gonna
It's
get an
coming up too.
I'm gonna get
What are
an
we doing on this show?
NFC beanie
Whoa.
or an NFC bucket hat.
Yeah, the bucket hat.
Wow, dude, that's fun. All right, we should probably wrap it there because now we're just browsing. We're just browsing the NFL shop and gabbing,
we're just shopping together on the phone.
Gabbing like the girls.
Ooh, they have hats. I think they have hats.
All right, folks, that's it for us this week. We'll catch you next week during media week to see what we'll give our real Super Bowl predictions with scores and everything.
We'll be on. We should film it with some a little ambient crowd noise in the background and act like we're on Radio Row.
All right, bye, folks.
Bye.